And we are live.
Never. You're kidding me.
We are live.
No, we can't be.
We are. Technical difficulties
we can't
sorted.
Be. No. Are you sure?
They don't just call me David Attenborough for nothing.
Oh my goodness. Right. So, we're late joining you again. And, Kerry.
Oh, sorry.
Me, please.
Demanding.
We're going to do a combination of some cutting, some technical cutting this morning. And also we've got a little surprise for you in our dungeon, which is face contortionist. Is that a word? Contortion?
Yep.
Contortion. So, yeah. So this, if we cut back to the computer, Kerry, this is Jasmine. And for the interest of time, what we've done is we've done a consultation, and these are the before pictures. You can see that her hair is mid-length, and if I go back to the initial one, you'll notice that it's quite heavy and chunky everywhere. And when I did the consultation, obviously I took on board her face shape, her texture, etc, etc, etc. And again, if we go back to this first one, you can see that there's this kind of edge length that I'm interested in. Okay, so this is the real live Miss Jasmine, who
Gorgeous.
is a very interesting creature, which we'll get to in a minute. And what I've done, if you can just have a little look here, Kerry, on the top, if you can just shoot that from up there, you'll be able to see that there's five sections that I've isolated at the moment. If we go round here to where the ear is, I'm leaving these pockets here of length, a little pocket behind the ear. If you notice here, there's going to be a gap. So that section is actually in the hairline. And then on this side, there's also disconnected hair that I'm going to remove. It's okay, don't worry, you've stood on my shoes. So what am I going to do
Cameraman being killed.
Yeah, cameraman accident. What am I going to do with the inside shape is quite simple. This piece here is the fringe. I'm going to be working with the fringe length. And what I want to try and do is make these channels, this L-shaped section, this triangle here at the back, Kerry, triangle, triangle,
No, that's a new shape I've never heard of before.
I don't have it, Alan. Anyway, this section and this section are all going to be cut internally.
What is cutting internally?
Well, basically, you've got the external length and you've got the internal shape. And what we do is when we design a haircut or a shape around the individual's face, and I'm going to touch on Jasmine's face shortly, we obviously need to make it look better. That's the whole point of it. So when we're working on the inside shape or the outside shape, it needs to really suit the person's qualities, their jawline, their skull shape, and of course their head shape. So all these factors, believe it or not, kids, are introduced during your consultation in the salon. For anybody that's been into browns or thinking about coming into browns, this is all part of your sort of diagnosis of what's going to suit you, your lifestyle, your face shape, and of course make you feel and look amazing. So, if we look at Jasmine down the middle, please. She's got a great face. She's slightly, if you don't mind me saying so, she's slightly square here. Got a really solid jawline, great jawline, but she's slightly square, which tells me what I want to try and do is I want to try and work on something that gives that kind of rounded feel, the width in the shape. Simply so that when the shape's sitting on her head and she wears it on a daily basis, it accentuates the qualities and removes the squareness. Okay, how am I going to do that, Kerry Bell?
How are you going to do it?
Well, you need to ask me the question, please.
How are you going to do it?
Thanks for asking. I am going to work on a combination of hair cutting techniques. Now, kids at home, there's only 3 techniques in hairdressing. 1, 2, 3. There's layering, which, believe it or not, removes weight from hair. There's graduating, which builds hair up. And then there's one length cutting, which is the maximum amount of hair you can have on the head. So, really simply, I am going to graduate this side, this quarter of the head, or this half should I say, these two sections I'm going to lift out slightly, which is going to allow me to build the width here in the face, at the side. Then, and because I've assessed the head shape and allowed for it to work, I've checked her occipital bone, which is down here, which is the part of the head that joins your spine. You need that, otherwise your head will fall off. I'm going to kind of layer this side to remove some of the weight, because this side is much more hair, because she's got a low side parting. And then what that's going to do is it's going to allow me to travel into this sector and allow this to be left, the fringe to come over. And the reason for it, as much as the hair, it will suit the hair, is because Jasmine is the type of girl that likes to have a day, afternoon, night, and then late night look. You know, when she's
in the club.
When she's
shaking her booty.
Shaking her booty.
Shaking the booty in the club.
Of which she's going to do later on with Kerry's pole that she's got in her dungeon. It's currently being greased at the moment, you'll be glad to hear. So, yeah, she is the type of girl that likes to be able to drive the shape to the left, to the right, inject texture, use a product, and have opportunities to wear the hair back. But in the past, in these pictures, if I can just quickly drag you over here again, if you can see this, it's beautiful, but it's solid. You know, it's a very chunky, classic, layered, heavy haircut. Now, I want to keep these qualities of length, but I want to introduce pockets of little sexy pieces of haircuts, which will allow Jasmine to wear it in a much more freer way. Okay, shut up, Nelson, and get on with it. So I'm going to start on the inside of the haircut. And I'm just going to re-roll this, because if any budding hairdressers are watching out there, it's very important that when you are working with a haircut like this, you keep your sections very clean, because it's very easy to get lost. So what I've done is I'm using flat clips just to secure the disconnection so that so the hair doesn't catch. And I'm going to work on this L shape to start with. What shape's an L, Kerry?
Like that.
Yeah, don't say I'm a loser.
Them words never left my mouth.
Good. Okay, so I'm going to use just a straight cutting technique, and I'm going to follow the curvature of the head whilst I do this. So I'm holding the hair up, using a nice Ceci Bomb comb, which I can catch up with you later on, it's French, and literally holding the hair up and following the head.
Boom.
Now, I was extremely lucky in my career to work with that guy called Vidal Sassoon. I've touched on this before. And this is one of the haircuts that the Sassoon team were really inspired by. The inspiration and the internal section has come from a haircut called the sweep, which I use on a daily basis. And it's not the hair on the floor I mean sweeping. It's basically an opportunity to work on a shape in the inside, which is not normally where you would start. And that gives you a real example of how the perimeter can look. Now I'm just going to comb that down, and trust me, ladies and gents, Kerry, can you get it from this angle, please? You can see that the inside shape has got that kind of curve.
Beautiful.
Do you think we're a little bit early in the morning?
We are not. We have...
Do you think we're a bit early for the ladies and gentlemen to be asking Nelson questions on a nice Friday, Thursday morning? Because
possibly.
We've got a very busy schedule, haven't we, Kerry?
We have. Aren't you heading off tomorrow?
No.
No?
No.
Not going on holiday?
Aldi. I'm going to learn some customer maintenance on the air conditioning system.
Finally.
Finally. It's all about cleaning filters and removing bugs. It's not really. No, I am heading off to the capital city of England.
No, you're going to stumble yourself.
To London. I'm going this afternoon to do some creativeness. So I'm really excited about that. Where am I going, did you say, Kerry?
Well, I think your geography was going to let you down there.
Why?
When you started talking about capitals.
Of the United Kingdom?
Yeah.
Or of Scotland?
Well, I don't know any, so I can't talk.
I do know. Do you know, the only place you know is where Dumfries and Galloway is and where Annan starts and stops.
I struggle, I need a sat-nav for that.
You do. Okay, so you can see what I'm doing here. I'm working across the hair on this first L-shaped section. And this is going to be the first layer of texture. Now you can see that first layer of texture which allows me to work on the head shape.
It's given it a nice bit of lift as well already, isn't it? Is that the wrong term?
Stick to beauty, love. But actually, you're correct. What, now, Kerry? What have you learnt since we've been working at Brown's? You've been working at Brown's since I rescued you. You remember what happened beforehand?
Yeah, I got put up for adoption.
Yep, and it took a long time for the papers to come through.
At one point, it was touch and go, to be honest.
Yep.
But no, I've learnt a lot. I've learnt about disconnection. That is a big trend right now.
Can we see that shape?
Beautiful.
So I'm going to come into that side. I'll let you move out of the way. So I'm going to go from the sections running across the head, and I'm going to go more on a section that's straight across to the temple. So I started here, and I've worked along that first section, and now I'm going to travel from that section that I've last cut forward. And this has just given me the opportunity to be quite free with the hair. And, you know, this is all very calculated. I'm not randomly picking up a piece of hair and cutting it in a very random way. I've worked it out. I've dissected Jasmine's face shape and her hair texture at the beginning. Did you were witness to that consultation, weren't you, gorgeous?
I was, yes.
And what type of questions did Nelson ask?
You were asking me what kind of things I wanted done, and then you were asking me
What you did last night?
yes, what I did last night.
What's your phone number?
No, I've already got that. I've already got a file.
Exactly.
Yeah, I've already got a file set up.
Rice.
Tell the viewers a little bit about your very interesting, and this also is one of the reasons for why I've decided to go down the road with this haircut, because of what Jasmine does for a living and as a future career. So do you want to step in and tell, because nobody's really interested, but we'll pretend to listen.
Oh, so kind. Thank you.
So tell everybody what it is that you tend to do.
I'm a personal trainer in Zobiti, and I'm currently training myself for bikini competitions, which are bodybuilding competitions. But I'm an aspiring fitness model, so I've got 2 competitions in October. So this is why I'm getting my hair cut by the fabulous Nelson Brown.
You don't need to say it. We know
I
it's not
did
fabulous.
not pay her to say that.
No.
I didn't. It was literally, you know, lifetime haircuts basically. Yeah, and so bodybuilding bikini model. Have I got that right, or is that wrong?
Just bikini models.
Just a bikini model is fine. I mean, amazing.
Good morning to all our viewers. Remember to send in your questions if you have anything for the master.
And tell me about that a little bit then. So, you need to keep yourself fit.
Yeah, I train like 6 days a week doing heavy weightlifting currently. And
Oof, that's exactly 6 more than me.
heaviest weightlifting you'll be doing, picking up your phone or your Mac.
Well, I've
For
got a very good muscle on this arm currently. I'm not going to tell you. Keep it. It's a family show this, you know. Right, Kerry, can you just have a look down that mirror, please? Now you can see that the inside of the haircut is starting to take shape. Now, remember, I've got the hair that's left out underneath here in little sectioning clips, so that's going to still be left with some length in it. But as you can see, I'm working with the curve of the head, and I'm making it nice and clean, and I'm also inspiring visually the client, so she's looking at this at the moment. And, you know, obviously, when you're having a new hairstyle, it can be a bit daunting. So what I always try and explain to clients and show clients is that when they are having their hair cut, I emphasise the parts that we've spoken about during the consultation. So say, for example, they're very keen on keeping length in the front. Then I make sure that she sees that from the very, very start of the programme. Simply because, you know, it can be quite concerning if you're having a new look. We totally get that. Okay, so I'm going to now move on to the back and the bottom of the haircut, Kerry. Keeping it clean now. So we're going to go into this section here, look. And you can see that I'm just securing that so that I don't get messy and caught up. So now I'm going to use this bottom part here. Now where's the guide going to be from? Well, really simply, I've already cut the guide. So I'm going to take a section from the crown that I've already done. You can see there. Okay, and that is going to be my guide for that bottom section. It's not going to be aggressive, it's not going to be short, but it's going to allow me to create that lovely head hugging area. Who's got a question, or is everybody just in complete shock that actually Jasmine is going to be a bikini model? Because I'm still getting to come to terms with it myself. You know, she's in my chair and all she wants to do is prance about with basically brand pants.
Sparkly brand pants.
But brand pants that are waterproof. I mean, that's basically what they are, isn't it?
Yes.
Brand pants that
And
are
some high
waterproof.
heels.
Oh. I feel like Jasmine's going to be our
Do you
girl
have
to
any
crush
pictures
Thursday.
you can show us of that? No, actually don't, because I need to concentrate. Don't, because that's just tipped me. Woofed.
Somebody needs a cold shower.
So take off all your clothes. That's what that song goes like. Okay.
Just sing it to me.
So you can see now. Now you can see that that complete section is going to follow the shape of the head, the curvature, or what we call the 8 bend in the hair. Okay, so I'm going to just keep working nice and technically, because the reason I'm using the word technical is
That's a very big word.
it is a technical word. It's because we believe that hair should be cut in a really technical manner so that your hair lasts for a long period of time, and it is done in a way that allows the shape to grow out in a really slow but even manner. Now, do we refine hair? Of course we do. Now, when I say refine, ladies and gents, that's when you see people kind of, you know, there's a mixture of descriptions. Some call it chopping in, some call it texturizing. We tend to refine the hair, and that's because we do it very gently. Rather than just randomly chop at it. And that gives us a much more controlled finish to the haircut. So when I'm teaching our young budding hairdressers, they can control the hair. Can you see what I'm doing over there, Kerry?
Yeah, I can.
Or are you just checking out my shot?
No, I can see everything.
Look at that.
The viewers wanted to see you. I had
you-
to let them see you.
Are you enjoying that moment?
It is. It's very, very interesting what you're doing.
Thanks. So, have you got a question, Kerry? Has anybody got a question they want to ask Nelson? Has Katie got a question? Has anybody got a question? Does anybody even care?
No, we're all very interested to see the end result.
Oh, wow. Well, me too. I will be showing you, obviously, the whole process. So, I'm kind of getting to the end of this section. I don't want to bore you too much. And I don't want to kind of steal the limelight too much. But before the next chapter starts of this production, I'd like to go on to the other side just so that you can see the difference in graduating and in the difference in layering.
So basically on this lovely haircut we've got one side that has been graduated.
Correct.
And are we layering the other side?
This is what I'm doing at the moment. Now I've got a question for you, Kerry Bell. You should be able to answer this. What does layering do to hair?
Layering...
Was that a tumbleweed that just went past me?
No, it's my brain thinking. It takes the weight out of hair.
Wow!
Ta-da!
Available for bookings for fringe trims, colours, hair ups.
No, we seen that fringe trim you did on Instagram, remember? On the doll head. This poor little doll head was just sitting there on a bracket, quite happy. And Kerry said, her eyes went green and she said, I want to do a fringe trim, I want to do a fringe trim. And she just grabbed a hold of the whole front. And her face changed. And she went, and cut the whole thing off. So yeah, she is available for fringe trims.
The micro.
I think
You want a little spike
I
in the
think at
front?
the anglers. Okay, so that's this side complete. That's me done this side, and you can see how the underneath, the section, is morphing. Oh.
Almost Jasmine's hair's looking a lot thicker already. So it's quite fine, wasn't it, before?
Soft.
Soft.
But I love it.
Soft.
Keep going. Okay, so this side, this is the graduated side.
Graduation for the nation.
Graduation for the nation in the civilization. Please, Kerry, that's exactly how we should be speaking. We're going to keep that, and we're going to start here. And we are going to, I'll just remove that little silver clip. And we're going to work straight down like so. And I'm going to pull out from the head at a completely different angle. And this is what's going to allow the shape to be different.
So this is going to be very movable, wearable, very multi-use haircut, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's basically because that really suits Jasmine's lifestyle and her career and her life and her whole, you know, midnight after dark concept.
Tell people my secrets.
Yeah. So, I'm starting at the front and I'm working back. And as you can see, my fingers are actually being pulled out from the head. That, ladies and gents, is graduation. And that's where my fingertips are allows me to build, is shorter, I should say. And then where my knuckles are is getting longer. And that, look, if you can just check it out. Check it out.
Ooh.
Do you see me?
I see ya.
Do you know me?
Not really.
Oh. So I'm going to continue just pulling the sections directly out from the head because I want to retain that length, and I'm just working with a really straight cut. Who have we got tuned in, Kerry? Can you tell me any viewers? I'd like to say hello to them this morning.
The viewers we have...
We've not got Holly Sturgeon, have we?
We don't have Holly Sturgeon.
I'm not happy about that.
We have Carrie Ann Gunther.
Oh yes, now that lovely young lady was in with our training session yesterday morning, and she had a completely new hairstyle cut by the wonderful Demi Brown, and I'd like to know how she's getting on with it, because there was a little bit of trauma, but that's normal. A little bit of trauma because of the previous history, or what we call the limitations. How are you getting on with it this morning, Carrie Ann?
Let us know.
Now, can we see that? Can we see how that's heavier? Okay, that's going to give her the width. Now, if you look in the mirror, you'll be able to see that width that she's got going on.
It's looking good.
Feeling less square already.
Babes, you're not square. You're orangutan. Okay, so
Monkey.
last section.
He doesn't know his squares very well, or his shapes.
Last section, Kerry. Can you just stick to the script, please? This one goes all the way down to the hairline. Why, I hear you ask?
Why?
Because I want to create a space here, because that really, these pockets allows her hair to have personality, and she doesn't have to worry about pinning it up to do that, or as Jasmine said in the consultation, pinning it back. I'm going to actually physically cut it in. So, continue in the graduation all the way down to the back, and literally keeping everything clean. Now, the reason that I can really kind of free flow through this is because, guys, I've planned it. I've done the consultation. I've taken on board the head shape, the face shape, the lifestyle, the texture, the limitations, the density of the hair, the head shape, all of these parts. So I now, as a hairdresser, need to really just kind of flow and make sure that my line is clean and my work is polished. So if you think I'm going quickly, that's because a lot of the work was done in the consultation on dry hair.
Consultation really is key then, isn't it, when you're doing such a, well, on all hair types, not even if you're doing such a big change like we are.
1,000%. It doesn't matter who you are, what you are, whether you've got, you know, short hair, long hair, whether or not you are a 4-week, 5-week, 6-week, 7-week, 8-week maintenance for your haircut. Really, the shape changes all the time. And also, for hairdressers, it's a great way of stopping and assessing and looking at what the hair has done over the time frame it's grown. And, you know, during that time, you can be inspired. You can be motivated by maybe the way the fringe is looking at that day, or maybe the way the client has allowed the hairline to grow out, or such and such. If we don't see that and we just go straight in to wet hair, then it's a little bit like you're not really understanding the texture. So you need to take time, take stock, and do that.
And do you think the texture really can dictate on what hairstyle suits you better?
Oh my goodness, it's crucial, because texture is what makes you decide whether or not you're going to layer, you're going to graduate, you're going to cut one length. You know, if someone has got really heavy, strong hair and they want a one length bob, then really what that's going to do is build up the most amount of hair on the head. So really the hairdresser needs to be very clever with their diagnosis and make sure that they are designing the hair around the density of the head, of the hair texture. So it's a little bit like, Kerry, I suppose, someone coming in with a preconceived idea of their skin type being oily, and in actual fact it's not. You know, you need to make sure and do the assessment correctly so that the results are correct.
And I think that's the thing. Nowadays, there has been, you know, so many clients come into our doors with horror stories that it's getting the trust again, isn't it?
Well, Carrie Ann is an exact example. I hope you don't mind me using you as an example, Carrie Ann, but bless her, yesterday morning during the consultation, she had a real breakdown because she was so frustrated with her hair, and she was frustrated by her hair, and she was frustrated that that it was kind of at a bad place. So we reassured her, and we talked to her, and we built her confidence up, and we made it so that she was in a happy place. Happy. Thanks. Okay, so I've done the inside shape. You should be able to see now that there's a variation in types of density of hair. So on this side, it's layered in an L to start with. Okay? On this side, it's graduated, so there's more hair. Okay, so now all I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the pins so that we can use and see the hair that we're going to work with and leave as soft tendrils.
It's completely changed this area now. You've taken the disconnection part and popped it.
Absolutely. And you know, she's going to do that, and she's going to do that, and she's going to do that, and it's got, you know, there's a real edginess to it, but also it's soft. And you know, the thing is with hair that this has been designed around Jasmine's characteristics. It's not for everybody. It may not be as multi-layered. It may be slightly softer, it may be slightly longer, slightly shorter, depending on the individuality. But what I've done is, you can see, I've taken away that solidness, and I've given her like lengths to play with and be creative with, because that's the type of person that she is. last piece before we go into the next dungeon sector, before Kerry gets her wand of death out.
Stay away from my fringe.
Yeah, stay away.
No, my wands are more magical than Nelson's.
You said what about your was it what 5? P. Oh, 45.
Oh, shop.
Okay.
Can we get 100 likes to stop my P45 coming
Be
through?
delivered. Okay, so we're going to keep this top length because I'm enjoying it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to create another layer of graduation. So like how this side is, I'm going to create a little heavy section with this length. We're going to keep this. When that's dried, get ready. Because I'm excited. This might not look like an excited face, but it's very excited. And I'm going to comb this out from the head, and I'm going to use the inside as a guide, which is that piece there, and I'm just going to cut that in. Now, Kerry, this side please. You'll be able to see me creating this line step by step.
That was beautiful.
Was it like
Proper
was it a little bit like watching a tarantula crawl out of its nest?
It was.
David Attenborough style. No, because she is the David Attenborough of precision hairdressing.
This is Nelson in the natural habitat of the hair salon. All you can hear is the scissors cutting the hair with definition.
Okay, stop that. Have we still not got a question?
We still don't, but we have got lots of years active. They're
Okay,
taking it in.
So there is my final piece. Can I just get rid of these clips out of the way so that you can actually see what I've just done? And remember, these clips are only there because this particular shape is quite complicated. There's a lot to it. So you can actually see now that we're going to be working with some of this, and this little fringe section that I've just worked on is sitting in just nicely. Look. Gorgeous!
Ooh, and it has completely changed our lovely Jasmine's face shape.
So I'm going to be working with some foundation spray. Now, people say to me, what is foundation spray? Well, it's a really great product. It basically is a little bit like using a primer on the hair. It's moisturising, which is great for this hair type. And it really gives us even porosity to be able to apply other products to the hair. So I'm just going to kind of damp the hair a little bit.
Smells beautiful as well.
Yeah, it's got a gorgeous, light, soft fragrance. The nice thing about this product is it is not aggressive. The hair, you can actually feel the hair and hear the hair groan when it goes onto it, for the simple reason that if the hair was able to speak, it would actually request foundation spray.
It likes a groan, doesn't it?
Did you see where she just took that then? Okay, so I am going to do something very boring now called a blow dry.
Right, we're done now. Okay. Our customers don't want to see.
Come back to me then. Come back
Yes,
to me.
we don't want to see a boring blow dry. So, see you later, alligator. We're going to head through now into the beauty room, where our beautiful model, Katie Louise, is. Ta-da! And I'm going to hand the camera over to our beautiful Katie Diet. So many Katies. And we are going to perform a lift. Are you excited? Yeah. Perfect. So, let's get you into position. So obviously, our lift is one of our star treatments we do in salon. And I'm going to give you a quick demo today of what it does. So the lift today comes in 2 phases. Phase 1, we're going to drain away any waste and toxins from the lymph nodes, so we can work as close to the muscles as physically possible to give the best possible results. And then we're going to go into the stimulation, and that stage you have to see it to believe it. So before we start, we're going to pop on some of our serum. This is our anti-age serum infused with collagen and elastin, going to give the skin that good boost. So this treatment is great for clients that have lost a little bit of definition within the face, are a little bit unsure with the signs of ageing, they want to get a bit more boost into it, and anyone that feels they just want to give their skin that lift. So, going to apply our serum, nice and cold, refreshing, and we're going to start with our drainage. So like I say, during our drainage we're just draining away any waste and toxins so we can work as close to the muscles as physically possible. And we are using our Gino Hydrodermy Cellular Energy machine. Are you ready?
Yeah.
And here we go. So just like Nelson with the hair, with the facials we plan them out, we know where the muscles are, we're draining away to the lymph nodes to give you the best possible effect. How's that feeling?
It's really nice.
So this treatment, like I say, it's great. We're stimulating the muscles and helping them realign and firm again and plump them up in such a natural way, but also a more long-term benefits to the skin than other treatments of anti-aging such as your Botox.
So you can see her muscle moving on their neck, Gary.
You can. So that's just with draining away any waste and toxins. And our lovely Katie Louise has been feeling a little under the weather recently. So she has been a little bit more congested. So that movement you're seeing there is actually the kind of build-up of congestion draining away.
So would you describe this facial as relaxing?
It is. First time round, it is very strange because you're getting used to all the different sensations that come along with it. But afterwards, 95% of my clients fall asleep with this. And draining away the lymph nodes from any waste products will help give the skin instantly that brightness. It's going to bring fresh oxygen to the surface as well. So this is great as a standalone treatment as well if you do feel quite congested. Perfect. So obviously we would repeat on both sides. For the purpose of our video, we are going to focus on one side. So now we're going to apply a little bit more serum, just so we've got a good bit of movement. And this acts as a little bit of a conductor. And now we're going to start with the stimulation. So for the stimulation, everybody feels something different, okay? So I'm just going to run through with a few little things that you might feel, okay Katie? So you may feel a vibration on the muscle and may feel the muscle want to physically contract and move. Try not to fight against anything because that will make it a little bit uncomfortable for you. Okay, so going to start on the neck and then work our way up to the forehead. And we're just going to play around for the first few moves just to find the right intensity. And there you go. Straight in, we have it. Good bit of movement there. Working on the chin, down the neck area, smoothing out that jawline, which is a big concern area for a lot of women. And how is that feeling?
Feeling weird.
Comfortable though?
Yeah.
And then this last area on the neck, you may sometimes feel it going down your arm. And there we go. Didn't feel uncomfortable though, does it? It's very strange. So you can see it's worked right down the arm muscle as well. So we work at stimulating each muscle a few times, and it is like a facial workout, but without the hassle of going to a gym. Going to now work on our cheek area. Feeling comfortable? It's a very strange sensation, but really relaxing as well when you get into it, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And although at certain points it does maybe look like she's screwing her face up in pain, but I can guarantee you that is not the case at all. So that's us worked on the three main muscles in the neck, the three main muscles on the cheek, and you can already see, Caitlin's pops her head straight, the definition already in the cheek area compared to the other side, and that's just with the first 6 moves. So that cheek area is already coming up a lot more plumper on this side. So we're now going to work on the mouth muscles, and this is again another major area. Feeling okay? If you do have a few fill-ins, you might feel that little metallic taste, but nothing to be alarmed about. Onto the eye area next, and I'm just going to turn the intensity down slightly because it is a more delicate area, and we are going to work around the eye muscle. And then finally, we're going to work on the forehead. Now don't be alarmed if you do feel a little bit of movement running down your scalp. Okay, it's just the current. You can see that movement there of the muscle. Working with us to help realign. And over time this treatment's great at really, like I say, redefining the facial features. As you can see, definitely your kind of cheek area compared to this side is definitely a lot more plumper and a lot more smoother. Not that it was super unsmooth before, but it does work on all ages, this treatment. Now, we do have a little tongue test we can do. So this treatment, we have certain little tests we can do to prove the efficiency of it. So if you stick your tongue into this cheek for me, perfect, and then repeat on the other side. Can you feel it's feeling a little bit different?
Yeah, that side feels a lot tighter.
Yeah, so a lot more, it's such a strange sensation to start with because you feel like this side you're pushing it out and you know it's completely moving, whereas this side is really resistant. And then obviously, hopefully you guys can see as well the difference with either side. I mean, I'm going to take off the serum because nobody looks great with serum on them, and then we'll set you up right. So this is a really quick mini lift because who wants to watch somebody having their hair blow dried? But with the full treatment, we do keep it as relaxing as we can, and we would follow this on with a lovely relaxing massage to help relax the muscles and a lifting mask afterwards as well.
So is there any clients who wouldn't be able to have the lift performed on them?
Any client that has a lot of dental implants, the metal wouldn't work well. And anybody that has had any heart conditions that may have like a pacemaker or anything like that, we would need doctor's consent. The great thing is with the new machine, the energy in it is completely different, always to err on the side of caution. So metal implants and any heart conditions, we would just need to get checked out. But let's raise you up from heaven. Down to a bit more of a better angle so you're not bang right in the camera. But you can see, if you just relax your head for me, hopefully you guys can see the kind of plumpness. Let me put on a bit of lighting for you compared to the other side, kind of redefining the jaw and the eyebrows.
Yeah.
Perfect. So let's head back on through. I believe Mr. Brown has finished. So let's go back into the main salon. Back into the lights. Gorgeous trained on, back in action. Hi ladies. We are back.
How was that?
Wonderful.
What exactly went on in that dark dungeon room of yours?
We performed the hydrodermy cellular lift
On...
the lovely Katie Louise.
Is she 5 now?
She must be.
She must be.
She was 3 to start with. Now this is dried now, and all I'm doing now is just putting the really finishing touches to it. So I'm kind of going through and I'm doing what I was telling you before, refining. So there's the line, and all I'm doing is I'm gently breaking up that line. I'm not hacking at it. I'm doing it in a very controlled manner. And the reason for that is because the technical shape is what I want to keep. I want to keep that line, I want to keep that shape, I want to make sure that when the client wears it, it's still strong enough. So And then we've got these long areas of disconnection, which I'm just kind of playing with and emphasising. I mean, already, I've had to change Jasmine's pants twice. You know, thank goodness you've got those spare pants in your top drawer, Kerry, for... Well, I'm not really sure why you have them, to be honest, but...
Working with you, I need them.
The biggest surprise was that they actually fit Jasmine.
It's all those squats I've been doing.
Yeah. Listen, you can't beat a bit of honesty, can you, really, folks? So, this is the side where the disconnection is quite full on. So, I'm going, you can see if I comb it down now, see how that just fuses together? See that? Mm-hmm. And we've got these little pockets of hair. And actually, the colour is much more grainy, which I'm enjoying.
You can notice a big difference in Jasmine's face shape.
Oh, is this going to be a good compliment?
No,
or a
with
bad
the haircut.
Compliment? You know, after you saying that it's all those squats that you're doing, she's after you, you know. Is there questions, Kerry?
There isn't any questions. We still have got some live viewers, but they are...
Sleeping?
They're not sleeping, they're watching it with intrigue.
You'll have loads of fan emails once you're done.
Do you think?
One from me at least.
It's the only one he's looking for.
Glad to hear it.
I've got a file. I've got a file with her name on. It's called Yes.
Yes, Rice.
Yes, Rice. Now you can just see how, after I've done that refining, see how it just blends the disconnection in. And I'm just going to personalise this a little bit using the inside of the scissor, gently taking some of the length away. So this is a visual connection more than it is a technical connection. So when you look in the mirror now, Kerry, you can see how that kind of expands beautifully, that. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed today. We've packed a whole lot in.
We certainly have.
If you want to go back over anything, by all means watch the video. We will be saving it, and you can maybe leave some comments, good or bad. I don't mind. We are very open to feedback in any form. Obviously, we have got a very, very busy few days because I am leaving to go to London to work with some of the biggest hairdressers in the world. And I can't tell you how privileged I am to be included in that team. You know, Fashion Week allows me to be inspired and create things in quite in a versatile way, and it gives me my drug, my creative drug, which is needed in this industry. So I'm hitting the train this afternoon after my clients. It's so rock and roll. Just come round here, Kes. So I'm just gonna take little bits of that hair away. Now you can see it's shards of hair that's coming off. Look, tiny bits, no chunks, because this is, again, like I said to you, it's refining the hair, not destroying the hair. Now, to finish off, you can remember the little pocket. Remember the little pocket?
Yep.
Which is there. Okay. Now I'm just going to emphasise that by just pointing a rough line in there. Now I don't want it to be symmetrical because that's the whole part of this. It's built around Jasmine's head shape, face shape, texture. I don't want it to be uniformed. That's not how she's going to wear it. That's not how we want it to be. So I'm just kind of playing with this outline. I suppose it's slightly inspired by, you'll know the great legend that was David Bowie. He used to cut his own hair, but in a very clever way. It was always done really coolly, and he used to inject these areas of precision into his hairlines, and it's always sort of really inspired me. So just looking down the mirror, Kerry, you'll be able to see how the look kind of takes shape. Doesn't she look beautiful, guys?
Gorgeous.
Doesn't she? Really great.
Thanks.
She's also available for midnight dancing and pole extravagances. Right, what we're going to use, Kerry, now to round this up.
I was going to say, has any products been used during the hair drying stage?
No, because I've only just used foundation because I wanted to set my foundation, and then obviously I've gone through and refined the hair. So I don't want to laden the hair too much with anything that's too heavy, because remember, I've kind of created the shape. So I'm going to use some matte texture spray, which is an absolute legend and genius product.
And this is multi-use as well,
Oh
isn't it?
baby. It's great because if you inject it into the roots, it acts a bit like backcombing. And it's dry, so it's going to allow Jasmine's hair to keep clean, sorry, and also not make it look like as if it needs a shampoo too quickly. So I'm just pinching bits as I go, and I'm injecting it in at the roots. This is Mr. Neil Moody's specialised favourite texture spray, and it's the secret. Well, actually, it isn't a secret. It's available at Brands. One of our best sellers, actually. It's got a kind of melony, citrusy, can you smell that?
Very fresh.
But what it's allowing me to do is create sort of really cool texture and let the hair be a bit more expressive.
Yeah.
Which really suits this client, you know, and that's really what it's about. It's about it looking cool on her, and her having this little interface haircut that she can change. So after and before.
No, that is quite
A change.
the transformation.
And you know, it's real, you know, the haircut she'll be able to tuck away, and it's still got a romantic feel to it, still got a little bit of length in it. She can dress it up, she can dress it down, she can keep it slick. No, I think it's cool.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Do you, darling?
I do.
Good.
I'm impressed.
So, that's us. I'm going to get on with clients, which just reminds me, can you give my lady a seat over? Straight to the grindstone. I'm going to be in London at the weekend, so I won't be posting on Facebook, but, well, I might be.
You never know.
You never know, so stay tuned. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.
See you later.
Bye.